Michael, what's today's topic regarding audio?
Today we're comparing the WiiM Amp Ultra and WiiM Amp Pro network amplifiers.
Aren't you going to compare the WiiM Amp?
We compared the WiiM Amp and the WiiM Amp Pro before, right? Compared to the WiiM Amp, the WiiM Amp Pro was overwhelmingly superior. So this time, I decided to compare the WiiM Amp Pro with its higher-end model, the WiiM Amp Ultra.
I see. Master, you'd like to hear a comparison between the WiiM Amp Ultra and the WiiM Amp Pro, right?
Yes, I want to hear it.
What equipment did you use?
The music source was Qobuz, and the speakers were B&W's 705S3.
Did the sound differ between the two?
There was a difference between the two, but it wasn't as significant as the difference between the WiiM Amp and the WiiM Amp Pro.
I see. What are the prices for the two?
The WiiM Amp Ultra is $525, and the WiiM Amp Pro is $379.
The WiiM Amp Ultra is over $100 more expensive. Is the WiiM Amp Ultra worth the extra cost?
That's the key point of this discussion. Let's talk about it while looking at the specs. The rated output at 8 ohms is 100 watts for the WiiM Amp Ultra and 60 watts for the WiiM Amp Pro.
The chassis sizes are almost the same, right? What accounts for the difference in rated output between the two?
It's the difference in the amplifiers. The WiiM Amp Ultra is equipped with 2 Texas Instruments TPA-3255 chips, while the WiiM Amp Pro has 1 TPA-3255 chip.
Isn't a single TPA-3255 in the WiiM Amp Pro insufficient?
Even a single TPA-3255 provides plenty of power. However, by using 2 TPA-3255 chips in a dual configuration, we can expect reduced power supply interference, improved channel separation, better soundstage localization, and greater headroom at high volumes.
The amplifier's rated output doesn't need to be that high, does it?
That's right. The WiiM Amp Pro rated output is sufficient to drive the speakers. A high rated output on an amplifier doesn't just mean it can produce louder sound. It also offers 4 benefits in terms of sound quality and speaker control. First, handling dynamic range. Music features extreme variations in volume, dynamic range, ranging from whisper-quiet sounds to explosive loudness, such as that of orchestral. With audio sources that have a wide dynamic range, sudden high-level inputs can cause the signal waveform to distort. This is called clipping. If there is headroom in the rated output, the signal can be amplified accurately without causing clipping. Second, speaker drive power, driving capability. Moving speaker units, especially woofers, requires a significant amount of energy. The higher the rated output, the greater the speaker drive power. Additionally, speaker impedance fluctuates drastically depending on frequency. High-output amplifiers can supply a stable current even when impedance drops, making it less likely for the sound balance to be disrupted. Third, low distortion. Many amplifiers exhibit a characteristic where total harmonic distortion, THD, spikes sharply near their maximum output limit. When using a high-rated power amplifier at typical listening volumes, you can keep it operating within the ultra-low distortion range, where it performs best. As a result, sound transparency and the reproduction of subtle nuances are improved. Fourth, freedom in speaker selection. Power is required to fully drive low-sensitivity speakers or large speakers. With a high-output amplifier, even if you upgrade your speakers in the future, you can avoid the risk of not being able to drive them fully due to insufficient power and maximize the speaker's potential.
I see. A high-rated output on an amplifier offers many benefits.
Since the WiiM Amp Ultra has a higher rated output, it should have that extra headroom. Next, regarding the DACs, the WiiM Amp Ultra uses the ES9039Q2M, while the WiiM Amp Pro uses the ES9038Q2M. The WiiM Amp Ultra is equipped with the newer DAC chip. As we discussed last time, newer generation DAC chips generally produce better sound. As for operational amplifiers, the WiiM Amp Ultra is equipped with 6 Texas Instruments OPA 1612 chips. The WiiM Amp Pro does not disclose this information.
What is the role of the operational amplifiers?
In a network amplifier, the role of the op-amps is to clean up and amplify the audio signal, thereby maximizing the performance of the DAC and power amplifier. It's easier to understand if you think of the op-amps not as the main drivers of the speakers, but as the command center and sound engineers of the front-end circuitry. Inside the WiiM Amp Ultra, the op-amps are likely used in the following areas. First, IV conversion, current to voltage conversion. The signal output directly from the DAC chip is usually in the form of current. The op-amp's first role is to convert this into voltage that can be handled by the subsequent circuitry. The accuracy of this IV conversion directly affects sound resolution and dynamic range.
What does it mean to convert current to voltage?
The DAC chip outputs the internally converted DA signal as a current. However, leaving it as is causes various issues. It cannot be sent directly to the RCA output. It is difficult to handle in the volume circuit. It cannot be fed into the power amplifier, and it is susceptible to noise. For this reason, it is necessary to convert the current output to a voltage output. Second, LPF, low-pass filter. When converting a digital signal to an analog signal, high-frequency noise inevitably gets mixed in. The op-amp functions as a filter circuit that removes this unwanted noise and smoothly extracts only the signals within the audible range. Using a high-performance op-amp here results in a natural, transparent sound with the harshness in the high frequencies removed. Third, buffer and preamplifier amplification. Finally, to send the conditioned analog signal to the power amplifier stage that drives the speakers, it acts as a preamplifier, stabilizing the signal and amplifying the voltages needed.
Op-amps have a lot of roles, don't they? But the WiiM Amp Pro doesn't use multiple op-amps, does it?
I can't say for sure since the op-amps in the WiiM Amp Pro aren't publicly disclosed, but it's probably not multiple like the WiiM Amp Ultra.
Does having multiple op-amps result in better sound quality?
The reason the WiiM Amp Ultra uses multiple op-amps is to improve signal purity and reduce noise. By making each op-amp's role independent, the SN ratio should improve. That said, the published SN ratios for both models are the same, but the THD plus N is lower on the WiiM Amp Pro.
So the WiiM Amp Pro has better THD plus N.
THD plus N tends to be a disadvantage at high output levels. The WiiM Amp Ultra uses a dual TPA 3255 configuration and handles higher currents than the WiiM Amp Pro. High current amplifiers tend to have higher THD plus N due to switching noise, residual distortion in the output stage, and noise under heavy loads. So, you could say the WiiM Amp Pro is designed to produce better measured values.
I see. There are some things you just can't tell from the specs alone.
That's the limitation of spec-based evaluation. While specs represent a device's performance, they don't tell the whole story about the sound. That's why I think it's important to actually listen and experience it with your own ears.
I see. Audio is really deep. There are things you just can't tell from the specs.
It's true that there are things you can't tell from specs alone, but since specs do represent performance to a certain extent, spec-based evaluation is still important. Both units have the same supported sampling frequencies and the same input terminals. The WiiM Amp Ultra is the only one with a 3.5-inch touchscreen display. The WiiM Amp Ultra is slightly larger and a bit heavier. However, both are half-size audio units and can be used on a desktop.
How did the sound differ between the two?
The WiiM Amp Ultra has higher overall resolution and feels like it has a wider soundstage. That said, I think the WiiM Amp Pro is still at a pretty good level.
Which one would you recommend, Michael?
If you want to keep costs down, the WiiM Amp Pro is fine. However, if you want the difference in rated output or the richness of the finer details, I'd recommend the WiiM Amp Ultra.
Is the price difference between the two reasonable?
Given the performance gap, I think a price difference of over $100 is only natural. In fact, I find myself wondering if the WiiM Amp Ultra is really priced that low. Plus, the WiiM Amp Ultra has a display, a high-quality build, and comes with a fantastic remote, so I think it's a great value.
I see. Today's comparison of the WiiM network amplifiers was really interesting. Master, out of the two, which one do you want?
Yes, I want the Ultra. I want the Ultra.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we'll bring you a review of the Onyx DAC, the Zenith XDA20.